Welcome one and all to the Hurdle Podcast. It's bowl season, baby. Bowl season. College football bowl season, that is.
Not Super Bowl season.
Not Super Bowl season.
Damn.
Not Super Bowl
Sadness.
season, unfortunately. But do we want to go around the table and introduce? So if you haven't been used to our beautiful faces, I am Logan.
I'm Bailey.
Luke.
That's Luke. Special guest Luke. If you have not heard our last college football podcast, must listen. Luke is also on that one. So you know what? We decided to run it back. For bowl season. We got some bowl games to pick. We'll just start. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It's gonna be pretty much we don't give a crap about a lot of them, and we'll just say who we're picking. Once we get near, I would say right around the December 28th games.
Yeah, the Tuesday
There's
games.
a few intriguing games, and then we'll work
ranked teams are playing.
Yeah, so actual ranked teams are playing. So
don't suck.
Yeah, pretty much. So we're gonna start off with a great one. Middle Tennessee and Toledo in the Bahamas Bowl. They get a free vacation in the Bahamas out of it. I'm taking Toledo. The spread's 10. I'll take them by 13.
Toledo by points. By the
Man, this is such a thriller. I'm a diehard Middle Tennessee fan, one of the 5 in the country. I'll take Toledo.
Oh, much faith in his
you
team.
traitor.
I love these bowl game names, by the way. Northern Illinois plays Coastal Carolina in the Tail Greeter Cure Bowl. Holy shit. Coastal Carolina is favored by 10 in this game. I'll take Coastal Carolina by 14. I've heard more about them this year than Northern Illinois. Yeah.
I'm also going to take Coastal Carolina here by the money line. I really don't care how much they win by, just win.
Just win, baby, win.
I'm going to take Northern Illinois because they're conference champion, which is all I know about them. And the only thing I know about Coastal Carolina is that their quarterback, who is the only player I knew on their team, is hurt. So that's all I got for you. So I'll take Northern Illinois.
Don't care.
Nice.
Hey.
They'll probably win.
Coastal Carolina's last name is my middle name. So we're like related.
So,
Okay.
there you go.
That's the connection we have to this bowl game.
Oh, such a bloodline. It runs deep.
Luke's 12 cousins with
His best friend, brother's boyfriend's girlfriend. This guy or this kid. Let's keep it rolling. Western Kentucky plays App State in the roofclaim.com Bacaratone Bowl. Yeah.
There you go.
Oh God. It's gonna be a long episode pronouncing these bowl games. I'm gonna take App State. They're favored by 3. Give me App State by 7. I just know a little bit more about App State than Western Kentucky. Though I will say Western Kentucky's quarterback,
they got the QB, right?
Zappy, 5,500 passing yards, zippy zappy, flash. I don't care what you call him.
Zappy Bailey.
Yeah.
Bailey Zappy.
His name is Bailey.
Bailey Zappy.
So for that reason, I'm taking Western Kentucky.
Honestly,
he could set he could break Joe Burrow's record for touchdowns in a season.
I hope he does, but
I hope he goes out there and throws 6 tutties because that'd be awesome.
Kyle Trask is going to throw for 550 yards. He was close to 550 in that conference championship in whatever conference they play in.
Trask?
I know what it is. I just forgot. It's the Sun Belt? I don't know.
Oh, Western Kentucky.
Yeah, he threw for like 5.
Sun Belt.
Really?
Battle of 2 teams that came up short in their conference championships. I'll take the team that has a quarterback going to the Senior Bowl that's probably going to be a 6th round pick, maybe. I trust that a little bit more than I don't, because I don't know anything about App State. So
they beat Coastal Carolina when they were
ranked. There you go. Hey, I mean, you never know. That quarterback's probably going to go off. They probably can't play defense, is what I'm assuming, since they are 8-5, and yet they have an NFL level quarterback. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh, here we go. This is maybe the most entertaining name I've seen all day for this bowl game. We got UTEP going to Fresno State, not to Fresno State, but they will be playing Fresno State in the PUBG Mobile, New Mexico Bowl.
No.
PUBG, New Mexico
has
Bowl,
their own
baby.
bowl?
Yes. Oh, hey, let me. Hey,
Oh no.
Barstool has one too.
I know. I knew that. That's cool.
That's sick.
That's cool.
UTEP versus Fresno State. Jake Hayner's a god. I'll take Fresno State by 14. Spread's 11.
I got 2 words for you. Jake Hayner is must-see TV.
Okay, Charles.
Yeah, Jake Hayner is gonna have 4 touchdowns probably. I'll take Fresno by a lot of points.
I'm just interested to see what Jake Hayner does now that all the fans at Fresno State said he was a traitor, and then he decided to come back to Fresno State. So, Jake Hayner's the best player on that field by long shots.
And
That's all I have to say. Fresno State wins.
Yes.
the Queen. Oh gosh. The Radiance Technologies Independence Bowl. The UAB Dragons against 13 ranked BYU. Holy shit. BYU ranked 7. I mean, given 7, sorry, in the spread. Give me BYU by 10. Dude, there's BYU fans earlier in the year were like, oh, we should be in the Pac-12. We're this good. We're beating all these Pac-12 teams. Dude, you're playing in the Independence Bowl against UAB. And look at Utah. They're in the Rose Bowl, dude. Don't want to hear it. But BYU wins this by 10.
Yeah, BYU, I mean, they run the ball a lot. And they're good at it. So when they beat up on, like, was it Virginia?
Yep.
And they beat Virginia by a ton of points just running the ball. They'll probably do the same to UAB. BYU by 21.
Yeah, BYU's going to win this game, but fun fact for you, because I know that we all want a reason to care about this game. BYU, according to this source, is the highest ranked team to appear in this bowl and the first ranked team in this bowl since 1997. You know what that means? For the first time since 1997, you can watch the Radiance Technologies Independence Bowl with some interest, baby.
You could have some interest with an AP top 25 team in that
There
final.
you go.
It only took 24 years. Yay.
Let's go.
So, Eastern Michigan takes on Malik Willis and Liberty in the Lending Tree Bowl. Holy cow, finally a normal bowl game. It's not going to last. Liberty's favored by 8.5. I'll take the best player on the field to win the game, and that's Malik Willis. He's going to be a great prospect in his last game at Liberty. Give me Liberty by 17.
Yeah. Best player in the most important position. Liberty has Malik Willis, like you said, first or second round NFL talent. So, Liberty by 14.
If Liberty doesn't win this game, then I don't know what to say. But yeah, he's the best player on the field, at least the highest, or the only player worth watching on the field in that game. So hopefully he puts on a show. He usually does. He's either making plays offensively or being generous to the defenders, but we'll see.
That's true.
So 4 touchdowns or 4 picks. So tune in and figure out which one it's going to be.
Let's go, Spencer Sanders. Woo!
Holy crap. All right. We have the Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl presented by Stifle. The Utah State Aggies, coming off their first Mountain West championship, take on the Beavers from Oregon State. I made the mistake of not picking Utah State in the championship game. I will not make that mistake again. I think they are nice, superior team against Oregon State, but I just think they have a better complete team. All Oregon State really has is a rush attack. Utah State has everything on offense and a great defense. I mean, you saw what they did to San Diego State.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna take Utah State in the upset. They're giving Oregon 7. Give me the Aggies by 6.
Yeah, I'm also going to take Utah State here. Is it Tompkins, that wide receiver?
Yeah, Tompkins.
He's got,
Very good.
He's got 1,500 yards on the year. Bonner's actually not that bad of a quarterback. He's shredded. San Diego State. He made them look like they should be unranked the entire year for the rest of eternity. Utah State. I'll say by 10. I think they actually come out and win convincing, like double digits.
Yeah. Yeah, I am with you because Oregon State, I mean, they had a fine year. The Pac-12 is poverty level Power 5 conference. And I mean, So San Diego State beats Utah this year, and Utah is like here on Oregon State's, and Utah State won a conference championship in dominant fashion against San Diego State. So that's my measuring stick. I'll take Utah State in this one. Utah State also beat Washington State as well, and Washington State's also better than Oregon State. So
There you go.
This is true. One of Oregon State's big wins was against Utah, so that's
A little worrying.
a little worrying, but I still think Utah State's that good.
fine.
It's one game. Look where Utah is. Look what it got them. Doesn't matter. The R+L Carriers New Orleans Dome features, who would have thought, Louisiana taking on Marshall, the Thundering Herd. Louisiana's favored by 5. Now, I will say their coach is no longer there. He took the Florida job. So with that being said, look, their running back has 20 rushing touchdowns.
Good Lord.
You know, I'll take the upset. I'll take Marshall by 3.
I was also going to take Marshall. So, yeah, that's, I didn't even know the coach was leaving, but I was going to take Marshall either way. Just because, like, I look at their offense, they seem a little more prolific. Granted, they probably play in the worst division, but they earned a bowl game, so they deserve to be there. I'm going to take Marshall by 4, 28-24.
Last week, we said that Louisiana was going to lose in the Sun Belt Championship game because they didn't have a coach. And then he showed up and coached because he didn't want to abandon his team for the conference championship. This week, he's not there. So now I'm going to just say that has a rollover effect. Didn't happen last week, but it's going to happen this week. So
Yeah.
because Louisiana finally doesn't have the coach. That's where we're going.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Myrtle Beach Bowl presented by Tax Act. Old Dominion takes on Tulsa. Oh gosh. I'll take Tulsa. They're both 6-6. Tulsa's favored by 10, 9.5. I'll take them by 10. They have the better quarterback, which I think means something in bowl games, but
It does.
Yeah, I'll take Tulsa by 10.
Yeah, Tulsa also, literally close your eyes and pick a team. Doesn't matter. Give me Tulsa because they're favored by the 9.5. That means they probably should win when a spread is that large. So Tulsa.
Gonna be honest with you, you could have convinced me that Old Dominion was an FCS team. And Tulsa, they were in a couple of games close in the first couple of games of the year. Oklahoma State and Ohio State for a half. I mean, some of those games they were sort of in. So I'm going to use that knowledge and say that they will win this game as well.
Very nice. The famous Idaho Potato Bowl, baby. We got Kent State taking on the Wyoming Cowboys. Wyoming's favored by 3. Kent State seems to play in this every year. They always end up in Idaho for some reason. I'm going to just take the superior team. I think I'm going to take Wyoming purely based on they're in a way better conference in the Mountain West. They're favored by 3. Give them to me by 7. And they also beat Montana State. So I will ride with the Cowboys this week.
If Kent State still had Julian Edelman, I pick them. They don't. So I'm taking Wyoming by 4.
Yeah. I already forgot his name. I was just going to bring him up and say, here you go. But Kent State is another team that's smaller that has like a fringe kind of maybe he could be a late rounder UDFA quarterback in the NFL. And when I don't know teams, I like to see if they have a really good quarterback and then I can pick them to be safe.
Yep.
But from everything I've heard, he's just continued to get worse. They score a lot of points, give up a lot. Wyoming's the opposite. So it's tough to say, but I'm just going to go with the quarterback. That's what happened in the Alabama-Georgia game. It was Alabama had the quarterback advantage and they dominated. So I'll go with the quarterback. I like playing it safe there. So I'll take Kent State.
Yeah, and you know the saying, right? Defense wins the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. So
Okay, well, I got to be honest with you. I've never watched the famous Idaho Potato Bowl.
You never watched the famous Idaho Potato Bowl?
God.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I've only watched it because I'm from Utah. Utah State's occasionally in it. It's in Boise.
All right.
It's a very cool trophy, a bunch of potatoes, so that's fun.
And when you go to your seat, there's like a potato sitting there, and you like throw them on the field if your team wins or something.
There you go.
There you go.
Something like that. I mean, there's got to be something going on there.
Yeah.
Or maybe they just all eat potatoes. Yeah, intriguing one. The Tropical Smoothie Cafe Frisco Bowl.
All right.
UTSA takes on San Diego State. UTSA is favored in this game by 2.5. I mean, they have the best quarterback, clearly the best running back, the best receiver. I'll take UTSA by 3. I think San Diego State can keep it close unless they play like they did against Utah State. Then this game will be over very quickly.
Man, taking UTSA by 7 solely for the fact of my guy Sincere McCormick, who is just a straight dog at running back for UTSA. So yeah, I'll take him. He has like 1,500 yards on the season. They just feed him the rock, and he makes stuff happen. So UTSA.
Yeah, I'm a bandwagon UTSA fan for no reason other than Sincere McCormick. Jeff Traylor's a really good coach. I hear a lot about him, and he's been linked to a lot of higher level jobs, like back end of Power 5 conference jobs. And like Sincere McCormick is a workhorse, 36 carries, over 200 yards, 3 touchdowns to win the, I mean, people say that when you play a team with a really good quarterback, you have to win in a shootout. Like they won against Bailey Zappi, throwing for over 500 yards in their conference's championship game. They didn't win in a shootout with their quarterback. They won in a shootout with their running back with 36 carries. That dude puts the team on his back every week, and I fully expect him to do it again because I've never been wrong with that. He's never missed. So I'll go with McCormick and Traylor. I'll take UTSA.
Very nice. Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl. Yeah. Missouri takes on Army. I know Army's pretty good. I know a lot of teams can't stop Army because of the way they run their offense, like every service school. So I mean, it's the Armed Forces Bowl. How dare I take anyone other than the military team? So I'll take Army by 7.
I have no clues on either of these teams. I know Army probably runs the triple option.
We've got a dude at receiver whose last name is Dove.
Dove, there you go.
Like the soap.
Yeah, Army probably runs the triple option, the most unstoppable play in the history of college football when you play for a military school. So I'm going to take Army by 3.
Yeah, I also don't know very much about this game, and I would normally like to say that I would know at least a couple guys from like Missouri just because I like scout some guys for them and to like look for
Alberto.
I don't know on Missouri this season. Not a single one. They were 6 in the SEC, so congratulations. But he likes to give bigger name schools problems, and those triple option, whole option run offense teams. They were 8-3. They do have another game before this game. They actually played Navy December 11th.
They have a tune-up.
Difference. These guys are in the Army. They're trained better than Missouri anyways. So I'm going to be real patriotic and take Army in this.
Let's go.
Let's go, baby.
America. We have another bowl game in Frisco. Wow. The Frisco Football Classic. North Texas takes on Miami of Ohio. I'll take Miami of Ohio by the spread of 3.
Yeah, when I think football classic, the first 2 teams that clearly pop into my mind are North Texas and Miami of Ohio.
Big Ben, baby. Big Ben.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't think of those teams? But I'm going to take North Texas here. They just came off a big win against UTSA. Was that a week ago?
Yeah.
I feel like they're kind of riding hot a little bit. Granted, their record doesn't really prove that, but Miami of Ohio's record isn't great either. And it's in Texas. So basically North Texas is going to be playing a home game here. So that's who I'm taking.
I forgot North Texas beat
UTSA.
UTSA last week. I'm still taking Miami, Ohio, but I did forget about that.
Okay. So we got a bird game. I can tell you that this is between two teams with birds for mascots, and that they are Christmas colored as well, so it's festive.
Ooh.
Now my background knowledge, mean green because they're mean and green's better than red. I'm telling you how much I know about this game right now. I know that North Texas has a player that went into the draft last year and is now on the Buccaneers. And so he's playing for Tom Brady. So he probably told his team how to catch passes from Tom Brady, and they're going to win.
Of course. Why wouldn't he?
I know so much about this game. You can trust me and put your mortgage down on North Texas for this game.
Therefore, Tom Brady's going to go down and play quarterback for North Texas this weekend.
Precisely.
I mean, Tom's got nothing else going on.
Yeah, I mean, he's clearly not trying to win an 8th Super Bowl. So
I mean, why would he?
yeah, who needs Super Bowls when you could go win bowl games for North Texas?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, peeps. The rings don't mean anything.
Do you have any idea how long I thought Miami of Ohio was actually another team in Miami when
I thought for a long time it was too.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I do agree.
I was like, oh, that parenthesis for of Ohio. Well, that can't be true. There's nothing in Ohio.
Yeah. It is Ohio. The Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl. UCF takes on Florida.
You're gonna leave me hanging? You nailed that. Right on the.
Let's go, baby. Hey, that one's at the Buccaneers home stadium.
So Tom will pull up to that one for sure.
That one.
Oh God. I'm gonna just take Florida. I know they're getting a new coach, but I look at it as the best player on the field is Florida's quarterback because he's their whole offense. So yeah, give me Florida by 7. Just
if I remember correctly, is it Emory Jones?
Yes, Emory.
He balled out last year in last year's bowl game, didn't he?
He did indeed.
So yeah, he loves bowl games. And who doesn't? I'm gonna take Florida by 14.
I'm pretty sure. Hold on. I have a hunch, but I would have to check. And you might want to check on this too. But I think I saw something about Emory Jones being hurt now for the year. Not sure though. Stopped paying attention to Florida football after they almost lost to Samford, after they lost to South Carolina.
Didn't they go 35 to Samford in the first half or something like that?
They got a lot of points to Samford. That is correct.
Yeah.
The point here is, one, I don't even know if their new coach is going to be coaching for them. Might be a quick adjustment. Plus, okay, so UCF, they don't have Dylan Gabriel anymore, who's like the one big name guy they had there. They still got big Gus Malzahn from Auburn, which has done absolutely nothing for them. They still suck. And Dylan Gabriel's transferring. So they don't got much going on there either. This is kind of the bottom feeders of the Florida schools at the moment. And I have no idea who to pick because I have not watched any UCF football and I've watched Florida crumble. And if Samford can almost beat Florida, then so can UCF. So I'm going to go with UCF because Florida is going to continue their downward spiral.
Worst team in Florida. Have you ever heard of this team? I mean, they're pretty
Florida State.
They're pretty bad.
Miami actually won a couple of ranked games this year.
Miami picked up a couple and hey, Miami at least was trending a little bit. At least like Miami was kind of like right here at the end of the season. Florida was right here, going straight down.
Yeah,
like a rock.
Westfall, so
they do have Cristobal.
Westfall, recruiting center of the world right there, Florida. My gosh.
Very nice. The Easy Post Hawaii Bowl. Memphis against who would have thought? Miami. Just kidding. Hawaii. In the Hawaii Bowl. Why wouldn't it be? I'll keep it short and sweet. I know enough about Memphis, so I'll take Memphis by 7. They just have the better team all around.
Yeah. I mean, Hawaii's base. Does Hawaii have a losing record?
They are 6-7.
Holy crap. Yeah, I really don't know what to say about this game. Hawaii's basically playing a home game as they get to every year in their own bowl.
They might as well have their logo in it every year.
Yeah, might as well. Yeah, but I'm gonna take Memphis by 3. I wouldn't be surprised if Hawaii wins though, because they have home field advantage.
Yeah, they. Oh man, why don't they have Idaho playing the famous Idaho Potato Bowl? Anyways, Miami football. All right, that's Kingslayer right there. Memphis. Bailey, please tell me that they have some kind of a receiver that's going to be a running back in the NFL this year, like every other year. Hawaii am I wrong? Didn't they lose to someone really, really terrible by a lot in their first week of the season, and I stopped paying attention to them? Oh yeah, they lost by 34 to UCLA. That's right. They got dominated by the Pac-12 this year. Oh well. I'm pretty sure they're terrible. Memphis, I'm pretty sure is usually decent. Another game I don't know enough about to say any specifics, but Memphis for a long time has been a better football program, and they've been ranked at points and have had very quality players. Hawaii, not so. Forget about the home field advantage. I'm going to take Memphis.
Very nice. The Tax Act Camellia Bowl. What? Okay. Georgia State takes on Ball State.
Don't even smirk at that. Don't you? Good Lord.
That's not why, Bailey. That's not why.
No, get your mind out of the gutter. Come on.
Yeah, sorry.
It's kid friendly.
I'm 6.
It's like you're 6. Let's put it this way. I know more about Ball State. I think they had either a very close loss to a good team or stop, or they beat a very good team. You know, they really like to, they like to give it to them hard a lot of times in games. They are playing a team that wears blue, so. Ball State by 7.
I thought you were gonna say by 2.
You won't take it by 2.
I wasn't even gonna take that. I was gonna take Georgia State. The spread's 4.5. They probably won't cover it because Georgia and covering don't really go well together. Because Georgia can't cover anyone on Alabama. Therefore, Georgia State
Also
probably can't cover either, but I still think they win by 3. Actually, no, by 2.
Okay. Let's see. What do I know about these two schools?
Nothing.
Georgia is an actual state. Ball State. What state are they in? Does anybody know? Anybody have a guess?
Take guesses.
I'll say Missouri.
Georgia also. I don't know.
I will say Indiana.
Ooh.
Where is it at? Indiana's, the rivalries are in Illinois.
State for location.
Indiana. It is Indiana. Ah! You do know a lot about Ball State.
I know quite a bit about Ball State.
A lot about Ball State.
It's in Muncie, Indiana. Or Muncie, Indiana. Good Lord.
Or 12.
I don't know anything about these two teams except for the number right here that says Georgia State scores more, has more yards, and gives up about the same amount of points. So, Ball. You know what? This one, it's going to be a Ball State win because there's nothing like some good action in a bowl game, and especially Ball State. Everybody's going to be rooting for Ball State in this game. This is going to be hot take right here. Let me check. This is going to be the most bowl game December 25th. I guarantee you it'll be the most viewed bowl game on December 25th. And for that very reason, everyone will see it. They'll all be rooting for Ball State. They're going to feel that energy. and they're going to get this win.
I love how they're like, what game? Oh my Lord. Anyway, I love how there's like Christmas Day. Let's do Georgia State versus Ball State.
Hey, the NBA's already got that completely covered. They can't put a good one on. Come on.
I think there's some decent NFL games too on that day, but Ball State, Georgia State, 11:30 p.m. At least for me, that's pretty brutal.
All right, next one.
They keep on rolling.
I wake up and under my I got some Ball State for me.
Wake up from Christmas and your presents to watch Ball State.
Yeah.
Lovely.
You open a present, it's a Ball State t-shirt. Yes! It's what I've been asking for the last 3 years.
I love Ball State. The Quick Lane Bowl played in Detroit, so not a lot of scoring will take place. Western Michigan gets a home game against Nevada. Now, I am not sure if Carson Strong is playing in the bowl game.
I don't think he is.
If
he's not playing in the bowl game, dang, a Michigan team might win in Ford Field. We'd love to do our research right at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we're college students.
It's actually uncertain. He has no idea.
He has no idea. Well, with the uncertainty of this, and
just say if he plays, Nevada wins.
Yeah, if he plays, Nevada wins. If he doesn't, Western Michigan wins. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, completely agree. If Carson Strong plays, they win by 14. If they don't have him, they lose by 7. He's that big of a difference maker in this bowl game.
Apparently, Carson Strong's health is the concern, not like
not
his health
wanting to play.
Get injured, but because he already is a little bit banged up. And their head coach came out and said that he needs to look at this game and determine his status based off of his health. And when the coach is saying that, I mean, I don't think that he's going to play in this game. Some people have mocked this guy as the number 1 quarterback to come off the boards from Nevada. If you hurt yourself in this game, that's not just going to hurt your draft stock because of an injury, but NFL teams are just going to say that you're playing stupid. So if Carson Strong doesn't play, then they will be destroyed because who's their backup? I don't even want to know. And Western Michigan will run them over. But honestly, this could end up in like a 15 overtime tie where they just determine that they both lose since it's played in Detroit, like you mentioned earlier. So don't tune into this one. You don't need to watch this game.
Yeah, no worries, because we've got another great one right after the same day. The Military Bowl presented by Peloton.
Yes.
Not Peloton, Peloton. Boston College takes on East Carolina, the Packer. Give me Boston College by 6.
Yeah, you got Phil Jerkovich winning it.
Yeah.
What? I'm serious. He's the quarterback for Boston College.
I always go with that, man. You know this. Come on. I picked him to be like some ranked team and it didn't happen. So
rule number 1.
Last year. He's just been terrible this year. I bet he'd be better if he transferred to Ball State. I mean, come on. East Carolina
right there.
Destroyed by Cincinnati. I'm going to go with Jerkovich and Boston College.
I'm also going to go Boston College.
All right, we got some good games now. We're getting into the good slate. Let's go.
Yeah, no kid.
Ticket Smarter Birmingham Bowl. Well, I maybe spoke too soon, but it's Houston against Auburn. Houston, the ranked team, coming in against an Auburn team who came off the heartbreaker to Bama in their last game that they have played. I'm gonna take Houston in the upset because Auburn's favored by 3. I'll take Houston by 7. I don't trust Auburn at quarterback right now. I mean, Bo Nix ain't playing. I mean, you saw what happened when the other guy played against Bama. Like, they
All
right. He's okay, but it was Tank Bigsby that whole game. So, I mean, Auburn probably has the best player on the field at all times and Tank Bigsby, and they have a stellar defense, but I just like Houston a little bit more in this game.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Auburn here. I don't know, just their performance against Bama is kind of just inspiring me, I guess, to take Auburn here. I don't really know much about either of these teams. That Auburn went 4 overtimes, I believe, with Alabama. So, and they held Alabama to, was it 22 points?
Yeah, 22 or 24.
Yeah, 22 or 24. So yeah, I'll take Auburn for their sheer defensive force and Tank Bigsby.
Yeah, Houston really got ran over there by Cincinnati, and Auburn held their own against Bama. It's tough to go into those matchup things against other teams, and then how that would match up for when they play each other. But that for me plays a big role. A lot of uncertainty about Auburn at the quarterback spots, but I just think being a team that's been a force in the SEC before and a team that still can put up a fight against some of the top dogs in the SEC means a lot for them. And the smart play would be Auburn. I think it could be a tight one, but I mean, if Auburn can shut down Bama's offense, they can shut down Houston's offense. And then we'll learn a lot about Houston's defense and if Auburn can do anything offensively. But I'm gonna stick with Bailey. I'll take Auburn just because anytime I'm a little bit on the fence, I like to take the go on the power scale there, and Auburn up in that SEC. I feel more confident in that, so I'll take Auburn. I'll take Auburn to cover.
It's really going to come down to if Houston can stop the run or not.
Yeah, for sure. It's gonna.
Yeah.
All right, the Surf Pro First Responder Bowl between Air Force and Louisville. Intriguing matchup, I think. Two complete polar opposites. Louisville more of a spread it out team, and of course Air Force.
Mini Lamar, right? Cunningham.
Cunningham is a very good quarterback, but I cannot take him. I must take Air Force because no one can really stop that offense. The over-under is 55.5. I think much lower than that. This could be a low score. But yeah, I'll take Air Force in the upset by 4.
Is Louisville favored?
Louisville's favored by 1.5.
1.5, so it's dang near split.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Louisville here. Is it Malik Cunningham? I think it's Malik, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. He's the best player on the field at all times. So I don't know. I just have that confidence. If I'm gonna go into a game where I'm like, I have no idea what's happening, I'm gonna take the best player at the most important position. That's Malik Cunningham, is the quarterback for Louisville. Even though Air Force was able to win a game without throwing a forward pass.
That Jack was at.
Yeah, that our buddy was at. And had over 500 rushing yards in that entire game. I'm still going to take Louisville with Malik Cunningham.
I'm with you on that one. I like to fall back on my quarterback play, especially when the quarterback is a guy that, like you said, is like a mini Lamar, at least for the college level. I don't know if he at being on the same level as Lamar if he ever pursues a pro career, but he is usually the leading rusher, leading passer, and sometimes the leading receiver on that team when they really have bad games. So he's the best player on the field by far. And when I don't know a ton about teams like Air Force because they don't like to advertise their guys and stuff like that because of the whole military thing going on there. Air Force will probably stand a good fight. And if they win, I won't be surprised because, sometimes you just cannot figure out how to stop that option offense. But I'm just going to go with the best player on the field. I think Michael Cunningham's going to make plays often. He might make a couple mistakes, but his athleticism and his ability to continue to be confident in taking risks, even when he makes mistakes, I'll continue to ride with that philosophy. I'll take the best player on the field. So I'll take Louisville in this one.
Very nice. Very nice. The AutoZone Liberty Bowl. Mississippi State takes on Texas Tech. Mississippi State favored by 8.5. Intriguing matchup, I think. 8.5. You got a Mike Leach offense against a Texas Tech offense. That should be entertaining to say the least.
Over under.
59.5. Woo. With that being said, I will take Mississippi State to win by 10.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Attaboy.
Exactly what I was thinking. So I'll keep it short and sweet as well. Mississippi State by 10.
I'm also going to go with Mississippi State. The biggest headline out of Texas Tech right now is that they have a chance to land Quinn Ewers, which is a generational quarterback talent. Until something like that happens, I'm not going to put my trust in Texas Tech. And I'll take the Fighting Mike Leaches by double digits at the very minimum. So I'll go 10 at the minimum because of that air raid style. And
How many times does he have?
630.
Oh my God.
Likes to sling it. They are continuing that.
Minshew put up, what was it, 6,000 yards when he was at Washington State. So yeah, the passing attack, they literally just don't run the ball. And I love it. I love it. So
That's still NFL running back last year.
Yeah, very nice. Hey, we got another football game in a baseball stadium. We got a couple of those this year. But first time that I can recall that it's being in Petco Park in the San Diego Credit Union Holiday Bowl. Wow. UCLA takes on NC State, another intriguing matchup. I'm gonna take the upset. I'll take UCLA. It's pretty much home field. DTR is a god.
yeah.
And I don't think NC State's played a quarterback like him this year. Give me UCLA by 3. This is gonna be a very good game. This is probably the best game of this day on the 28th.
Yeah, completely agree. I'm rocking with DTR, Chip Kelly.
And maybe Chip's last game.
Maybe Chip's last game at UCLA. Who knows? Maybe he goes back to Oregon, revives them to be a 500 team. Yeah, I'm going UCLA and DTR. I don't care that NC State's ranked. They lost to teams like Miami. And Miami's okay, but I think UCLA is a better team than Miami is. And they just have, I honestly think, the best player. And their run game is proficient. So, is it Charbonnet?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm rocking with DTR, Charbonnet, and that offense run by Chip Kelly.
I like the way you're thinking. I'd go with UCLA, but I'm just going to go the other way just so that we have at least one person here that picks NC State. I'm going to take NC State, and for this reason. They've lost some games that they shouldn't have. But if there's one thing that UCLA struggled against this year, it was quarterbacks that can do it all for their team. Example, Fresno State Jake Haener legacy game, where he played on half a leg and carried his team to that victory. NC State's got a pretty good quarterback this year. Like every single ACC team, they have a quarterback that basically just threw the ball on about every single play, and that was their whole offense. Devin Leary, can't read you his stats right now because I didn't pay enough attention to NC State like I should have.
We got you.
3,433 passing yards and 35 touchdowns.
On 421 attempts?
31.
431 attempts.
What was the pick number there?
This is the intriguing one. Oh, he definitely had picks.
I know.
5.
35. That's pretty solid. I think he'll put the team on his back. UCLA has not been a very good defensive team. Their highlight win of the season was that LSU game, and then LSU ended up being really terrible. And they had that game against Fresno State where Jake Haener lit them up. So I'm going to take NC State. UCLA likes to disappoint people a lot of the time, and I think people picking UCLA to upset in this game will be enough for them to still disappoint you two guys. So
yeah, that's
it's a Chip Kelly team. I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah,
Chip Kelly being interviewed at Oregon, by the way.
He's being interviewed?
Yeah, he has a second interview set up.
That's awesome.
Like ex-girlfriend, baby. Back with the ex-girlfriend.
They always come crawling back. What can I say? Yeah, I think it's interesting if he goes back to Oregon. I don't think he takes the Oregon job because he's kind of building something with UCLA right now.
DTR is a senior this year.
Money.
Yeah.
Money talk.
Money does talk. Lincoln Riley. And Brian Kelly. All of them. Sellouts. We got the Guaranteed Rate Bowl in another baseball stadium in Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona. West Virginia takes on Minnesota. Minnesota's favored by 4. I just know more about Minnesota. That's why I'm taking them. I'm going to take them by 7. Row the boat, baby. Row the boat.
If I remember correctly, Minnesota kind of sucks, don't they?
Kind of, but they got a decent quarterback at Morgan. Row the boat.
They almost against Ohio State.
What?
They did play Ohio State very close.
Did they?
Yes, but we also saw Ohio State's kind of fraud.
Good God.
Intriguing.
Yeah, I have no clue. Minnesota's produced some NFL talent in the past year, so they know how to, I guess, do that side of the job and produce actual players that can make it to the next level. Example, was it Rashad Bateman?
Yeah, Rashad Bateman.
And
Tyler Johnson.
Yeah.
Tyler Johnson.
Yep, there you go. So I guess I'll take Minnesota by 3. I really don't care.
Also Antoine Winfield. Anyways, for me,
That's what I was thinking of.
Also for me, I'm gonna take Minnesota. West Virginia had like some fringy upset wins over some Big 12 teams, kind of that like whole TCU West Virginia randomly beats Baylor, Oklahoma State stuff that happens in the Big 12 every year, but nothing convincing. It was like sloppy low 20s games that aren't very interesting. Minnesota has some upside. They got a quarterback out there, Tanner Morgan, who's going to be returning for a 6th season next year. So what the hell is that? Nice storyline. Their best player, Mohamed Ibrahim, is going to be returning again next year, but he's been out for the whole season ever since the Ohio State game. That was brutal. They don't have him, but to take Minnesota. They got the higher upside, and in a sloppy game like this, I'll take the team that probably has the potential to score offensively, and that's going to be Minnesota. So I can't give you a score. I don't know enough about these teams again, man. If Minnesota would have beat Ohio State, I would have paid attention to them all year.
Yeah. All right.
Next Very nice. Oh, another baseball game. The Wasabi Fenway Bowl.
Hometown ties, baby.
That's a combo I never would have thought of. Fenway and wasabi.
See, I Googled this. It's not the Wasabi. It's some weird other company, but Wasabi's the name and Fenway's the game. SMU takes on Virginia. Virginia does not have Bronco Mendenhall. He is stepping away. The over-under for this game is 71. God, I really kind of want to take SMU for the fact that Bronco's not there, but I'll take him. I'll take SMU in the upset by 3.
UVA's favored by 1.5?
Yeah.
I was also going to take SMU, strictly for Tanner Mordecai. Dude just straight slings it. Doesn't matter if it's a pick or a 82-yard touchdown. He is going to throw it, and it's going to be one of the two. The over-under for 71, you honestly could probably hit the over in this game and not have a fear in the world. It's giving me it's your poor man's Pittsburgh Wake Forest game, and you're just getting it at Fenway.
Who Fenway. The hell would want to play at Fenway?
Nah, no one. Clearly no one, because the Red Sox haven't signed anyone. So I'm gonna take SMU by 7. I don't know if there will be a field goal kicked in this game.
If the over-under on punts is half, I'll take the under, because it's going to be a whole lot of arm punts in this game. Didn't Tanner Mordecai, I remember watching on SportsCenter, the first time I ever heard his name was when he had a game-winning Hail Mary for SMU. And then there's Brennan Armstrong, who's kind of like Tanner Mordecai at Virginia with their whole air raid style going on there. But he's left-handed. If that makes a difference to you. Some people have stereotypes against left-handed quarterbacks. Like me, I don't think they're as good. Sorry. Anyways, we got SMU here. I'm going to take SMU as well, just because Virginia likes to score a lot of points, but then not win those high-scoring games. And I think that's going to be this game. SMU is going to win this game. There might be a couple of home runs in this game, 400 to 450 feet. Over the Green Monster with these two quarterbacks. So SMU by at least. No, this is going to be down to the wire. They're going to be throwing. There's going to be probably a Hail Mary that ends this game. So I'll take SMU by 3. It's going to be somewhere around 53-50.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It's gonna be
Like
over 50, probably.
52-45.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, the baseball games keep going. At the one you actually want to play at, Yankee Stadium, Maryland takes on Virginia Tech. Maryland favored by 1.5. I'll keep it short and sweet. I know his brother plays for Maryland. That's enough for me. Maryland by 3. Wait, whoa! Why are you waving your finger?
Taulia Tagovailoa is so overrated. Every time he showed up in a big game, he threw like 4 picks.
Yes.
This is true, but I don't know anyone on Virginia Tech, so give me.
They're better than Tagovailoa.
I'm gonna take Tech. You can explain why. I don't know anyone on VTech either except for Vic from like 2001.
I can't tell you why either, Bailey, but I'm riding the Tech simply because I have been on the Taulia Tagovailoa's overrated train for a while now. Ever since I watched him in a couple of primetime games last year, early this year, and he did not show up. Some college football pages on Instagram tried to get me hyped up for Tagovailoa, and I haven't seen a hype post about him since. Yep. And some people are still calling him the second best quarterback in his conference, and I just don't see it. So I'll take the Techies, the Fighting Hokies, to the game in the Bronx.
Yes, sir. Bronx Bombers. Why?
Screw the Bronx.
Why can't we get a game at T-Mobile Park? Why doesn't anyone want to play a game there? Nobody wants to.
Question.
Yeah.
Notice how there was dead silence after he asked that.
Crickets.
Haters, you're all haters.
I mean, I'm not going to say our two teams have bowl games in our stadiums, but we did. So the Cheez-It Bowl, a normal bowl game. Clemson taking on Iowa State, very intriguing. DJ Ucla, whatever you want to call him, taking on Brock Purdy. What a quarterback matchup.
And Breece Hall.
And Breece Hall does still play at Iowa State.
His 7th year there. I'm just kidding. I don't know. It feels like it, though.
It does.
It feels like he's been a Heisman candidate all 7 years and has never been a finalist.
This is true. I feel that.
He balled out this year.
He did ball. He played very well. 1,400 rushing yards, 20 touchdowns on 250 carries. I'll take the Cyclones. They're favored over Clemson.
Are they really?
I do trust Dabo in big games. That's my one concern because Dabo does find ways to win. It doesn't matter what team he's got in primetime important games, or at least makes them close. Mm-hmm. I'll take Iowa State by 3, but again, it would not shock me if Clemson wins this game just purely off of Dabo.
I'm gonna take Clemson. My one worry with Clemson I have 2. One being no DC. Venables is gone.
Yep, gone.
So he will not be coordinating this game. And number 2 is I don't know if Clemson will really give a damn about this game, to be very honest, just because at the start of the year, every year for the Clemson, their aspirations are CFP or bust, champ or bust, and they're playing in this secondhand bowl that no one really cares about, unless you're a Clemson fan or an Iowa State fan.
Or Cheez-It fan.
Yeah, or Cheez-It fan. There you go. You rock with Cheez-Its. But I'm taking Clemson in this game based off sheer talent. Even though Breece Hall's a monster, Brock Purdy's a monster, they're both very good. Clemson's defense is like mind-bogglingly good. And I think Ukulele can put a few points on the board for Clemson. So I'll take Clemson by 10.
So Breece Hall is actually 20 years old and he's only in his 3rd year at Iowa State.
Feels like he's been there forever.
Yeah, I think so. Purdy, their quarterback's in his 4th. He's a true senior, and I think is returning next year. Maybe it was last year that he said he was returning this
year, right?
Yeah, that COVID year.
Yeah, that COVID delayed year. Man, Iowa State has been so disappointing. They were supposed to be really good after last year. It was like, oh man, finally something for Iowa State. It's hard to have a job there. You can't really recruit there. You can't get a ton going on. And they were looking like they were like right there. Maybe they could make the playoff. Didn't quite get there. And then this year just didn't get there. They lose that game to Iowa. They just continue to go down. Like you said, no Venables in this game for Clemson. We'll have to see how big of an impact he was. And then there's been talk about Clemson's OC leaving too. I don't know if that makes a huge difference. And I don't trust Ucla. Purdy and Hall. I don't trust Purdy. I trust Hall, but man, that Clemson defense has been so good this year.
Especially in the second half. They've been dominant in the second half.
Like Clemson offense, and without Venables, I'm just gonna go bold and say it'll be like a tough defensive game, I guess. I don't know enough about Iowa State's defense, but I'm gonna say that Purdy and Hall can make something happen late in this game and win by 3. But like this game could easily be like 17-13 or something like that. If you want to watch a defense, if this is a day where you want to watch defense between Virginia, SMU, Virginia Tech, Maryland, and Oregon, Oklahoma, if you want to watch defense, you're going to want to watch versus Iowa State.
Most likely, yep.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of the game you hinted at, the bowl game of losing recruits. Valero Alamo Bowl out in San Antonio. Oregon takes on Oklahoma. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I think Oklahoma's just a way better team. Oregon is on this. And now with Crystal Ball God. I trust Bob Stoops coaching a game with this Oklahoma team and Caleb Williams.
Seems it's going to be interesting to who he turns to. I mean, I'm sure he's going to start Williams.
I'm sure he will, but I bet there's going to be probably talks if Rattler plays, but Rattler entered the transfer protocol, so I doubt he even sits up or shows up. Yeah. So
it has to be Williams then.
Yeah, it's going to have to be. Oklahoma's favored by 4.5. Give me Oklahoma by 10. I don't think Oregon puts up a lot of points. I know they're playing a very bad Oklahoma Big 12 defense, but Oregon is a trash Pac-12 team. So
yeah, and they're ranked still somehow after getting
literally shit on for 2 games against Utah.
Good God. Utah made them look like they should be an FCS team. So I'm going to take Oklahoma. My blowout alert is going on right now. What'd you say by?
I said by 10.
By 10. I got 17. I think Caleb Williams goes off in this game. And is Thibodeau playing? I don't think he's playing.
No,
he's already declared for the draft. So yeah, no Thibodeau, no Flo, no anyone for Oregon. They're screwed. Give me Oklahoma by 17.
A battle of teams with no head coaches that have both lost over
6,000 recruits.
5-star recruits combined. It's just been brutal. And these 2 teams are going to suck in the next upcoming years, especially if Caleb Williams leaves and now without their head coaches that made bad players look good and great players look NFL worthy. So for the future of these teams, I'm good luck to you fans. But for this game specifically, no Thibodeau. Caleb Williams is probably going to be forced into playing whether he wants to or not for Oklahoma. And Oklahoma still has all the pieces that they had this year. And considering that and Oregon being Oregon and not even having Thibodeau or Flo, like you said, Bailey, I'm with you. I'm going to take Oklahoma by at least 24 points. It's going to be
we like that. We like that around here.
A type game. They are going to get boat raced in this one.
Damn, I thought I was going high with 10, but okay, guys.
10, 17,
real cool, guys. Real cool.
Never mind. 31. 30.
50. Take it or leave it.
I'm putting the mortgage on Oklahoma minus 57.
Jeez. That's gonna be. I think it'll be a fun game to watch because that's all the storylines are gonna be. Is no head coaches, no recruits.
Play calling and taking the head duties for these 2 teams. I know that they hired Venables, but like, is he going to be the head coach in this game? I don't know.
Stoops is coaching for Oklahoma.
Yeah, Stoops is coaching.
Who's coaching for Oregon? Kayvon Thibodeau?
Shit, at this point, you might as well. Maybe bring Mariota to come do some shit. I don't know.
Odd. Bring him in from Vegas?
I have no idea. Man, aren't they just promoting their DC or something like
Probably.
that?
That's what a lot of these
They're going to do their best Notre Dame impression.
The Battle of the Carolinas in the Duke's Mayo Bowl.
Yeah.
North versus South. North Carolina, South Carolina, the Gamecocks. NC is favored by 7. It's Sam Howell's last game as a Tar Heel. He's
been disappointing.
Very
Holy
disappointing this year. Had a
crap.
lot of hype this year. Very disappointing. But it is his last game at North Carolina. It wouldn't shock me if he goes out and has a game. So I'm gonna take North Carolina by 10.
North Carolina is going to drop 42 this game. And when you score 42 points, you're going to win. I like North Carolina by 18. 42.
Just say Bailey's not biased at all or anything.
No, it's Sam Howell. It's literally Sam Howell. He's going to throw it 50 sometimes. I'm a Tar Heel fan, but he's going to throw the rock a lot. And South Carolina, like, they just got ran by Clemson by like 50 the last time they played. And I just don't really see that changing when you're playing Sam Howell and a fairly prolific Mac Brown offense.
Yeah, I'm with you all the way. North Carolina is going to dominate this game. So, Sam Howell, I mean, he's got to have a clock in the back of his head ticking saying, man, one of these games, I got to show these scouts something, because this whole year, everybody said, no more Michael Carter, no Javonte Williams, no Daz Newsome. What is this guy going to do without all these weapons?
Brown.
No DME Brown. What's he going to do without all these weapons? And he is kind of proving some of the haters a little bit. He's got to show something in this game. And I think that he is primed for a big game in the spotlight. This has got to be his breakout game. And based on that fact, I'm just going to go ahead and say Sam Howell breakout game. They go back to their old selves and put up 49. South Carolina can't hang anywhere close to 49. I'll tell you that, unless they're playing Florida. So I'm going to take NC by, we're getting big with it today. I'm going to take NC by 20 burger on South Carolina.
You say South Carolina can score 30? 29? That'd be impressive for South Carolina. They even scored 29 all year.
Combined, no.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, so
That's
I'm playing
funny.
myself a safety net for garbage points, okay?
This is true, because that happens a lot in bowl games.
I like how I go 42 and you're like, whoa, and he goes 49.
Hey, I was just trying to set up my point about being biased, but that was my opinion the whole time.
Yeah.
I didn't know beef in South Carolina. So what, they beat up on the
Yeah,
40.
Spider-Man meme looking at each other. We got the Trans-Perfect Music City Bowl.
You really had to pause after.
Oh, I felt you look over at me, and I could tell Luke was moving for a second. So, yeah, I had to. But we got the Music City Bowl.
I don't remember it being called the Trans-Perfect Music City Bowl.
Oh, no.
Wasn't it like the Belk something, or was that? No, I think Belk had the Belk Bowl.
Is this a brand? Trans-Perfect, a brand? Or I don't know. Whatever.
Anyway, Tennessee plays Purdue. Tennessee kind of has home field. But if I've learned anything, Purdue loves to pull the upsets. Tennessee's favored by 4 in this game. I will take Purdue by 10.
God dang you.
Too good.
I guess I'll go the other way. Only because Tennessee, they kind of have they're kind of a mainstay in college football, solely because of Peyton Manning. And they've kind of just slowly gotten recruits. I guess
Dobbs.
They got a couple of good recruits there. Yeah, Joshua Dobbs, there you go. And I'm going off the sheer fact that Tennessee's entire college campus is going to be there. And Purdue might have 5 fans. And that's really what it's boiling down to. Yes, Purdue, they're probably the better team here. Why is Tennessee favored by 4 in this game? Don't know. I would take Purdue. But I don't know. I just feel like being different in this one. I think home field plays a massive advantage. I'm going to take Tennessee by 3 at home.
I personally am actually very confident that Tennessee is going to win this game. And I have 3 reasons. 2 of them are sort of the same reason, and then the other one is for Tennessee. The first reason is, which is the 2 reasons, is that the 2 best players on Purdue's team, which is David Bell, the wide receiver, and George Karlaftis, the predicted top 20 draft pick, are both uncertain for this game. So another one kind of like Carson Strong. If they play, they could win. If they don't play, I'm pretty confident that they won't win. And then my other reason why I'm going to take Tennessee is because of Hendon Hooker. This kid, okay, I guess he's a senior. I thought he was younger than that, but he actually played really well. 2,567 yards, 26 touchdowns to 3 picks this year. He actually played pretty decently other than Bryce Young, of course. He was the quarterback that played the best against Georgia's defense this season. I actually surprisingly watched that game. If Karlaftis and Bell don't play, I have confidence in this Hooker kid that him and Tennessee can win this game. And if Bell doesn't play, I don't have a lot of confidence in Purdue's offense. So I'll take Tennessee, assuming Karlaftis and Bell don't play, by 10, something like 30-20 in that range.
There you go.
Very nice. All right, this is a matchup I'm excited for. We got the Chick-Fil-A Peach Bowl.
This is going to be a huge game.
Between Pitt and Michigan State. Two polar opposites offensively. You got Kenny Pickett on the one side for Pitt, and you got Kenneth Walker III on the other side for Michigan State. Intriguing to say the least.
Want me to go first on this one?
You want to go first so I don't take your pick?
I'm going to go Pittsburgh.
God damn it! One time I let me go first.
This is a really interesting matchup because, like you said Pickett and you said Walker, but it's Kenneth Walker against a really shitty Pittsburgh run defense, and it's Kenny Pickett against a really shitty Michigan State secondary. So what's the over/under?
60.5.
60.5. Bingo. That sounds about right. And this is going to be a high scoring game. I just rock with Kenny Pickett, man. He's my guy. And
the fake slide.
Yeah, the fake slide was nasty. And
That's
I know
too.
what was that?
They just changed that so that it's illegal now. You can't do it anymore.
It makes sense.
The one
because,
and
like,
only guy. The one and only guy.
Ryan Clark was right when he said that. Like, it's super dangerous for defenders because you can't really run full speed at them. Because if they actually do slide, it's immediate targeting.
Yeah.
And you're out of the game. So I vibe with the fact that it's not there anymore. But the one time it happened, it was pretty badass. But I'm gonna take Pittsburgh. God, I'm gonna take them by 4. 35-31.
Yeah, I mean, he took every Pitt thing I was gonna say. So other than I think Pitt wins this by double digits. I think Pitt wins by 10. I just don't think Michigan State can stop this offense, this air raid offense, and I trust an air raid offense against a rushing attack more often than none. So yeah, I'll take Pitt by 10.
Kenneth Walker, hold up before you start, Luke. Kenneth Walker over under 200 yards rushing.
All purpose or rushing?
We go all purpose.
He'll go
Kenneth Walker.
Purpose.
Yeah,
Over under purpose.
200 all purpose. Yeah.
Can I just go over under rushing?
Yeah.
At least 250.
Yeah. That's I was gonna go over on the rushing as well. So
Pittsburgh's
defense is
not good.
horrible.
He's slammed against Michigan, and then Michigan's shut down Travion Henderson against Ohio State. That dude is in another world in terms of running backs, at least running the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a machine. However, as much as I want to say he's a machine, he's going to like run over Pittsburgh because he will. My guy and Bailey's guy, Pickett. I just want to say that before I knew that Pickett was Bailey's guy, he was my guy as well.
Matt Corral is really my guy.
I'm not saying that he's my guy only specifically Pickett. I'm not clinging to all of Bailey's opinions here. But Pickett is just another worldly quarterback. And in a game like this, I got to take the quarterback. I can't take the running back to run him over. I took Sincere McCormick to carry his team earlier as a running back, but that's
on a lower scale.
I like that. That's a different. Yeah, exactly. It's a different type of game. Plus, Michigan's quarterback, Peyton Thorne or something like that. He's terrible.
Yeah, he's
terrible. So they shouldn't throw the ball at all. They should run the ball every single play. Kenneth Walker should line up in Wildcat and throw the ball if he has to. But yeah, Pickett's gonna pick them apart. Pitt each year. Come on, you got Pitt. I got Pitt here. In an explosive game that I honestly think is going to be a little bit lower scoring than some people think, because I think Michigan State's going to wind out a lot of clock because they're going to run a ton. But I'm still going to take the quarterback here. I'm going to go with Pickett, and picking a score here is tough, but I'm going to go 35 to 31. I think that one field goal in this game, one drive by Michigan State, that's a field goal instead of a touchdown, will be the difference.
Yeah, you're right on target with me. That's exactly what I said.
Did you say 35-31?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. Keep it.
42 to 38.
There you go.
I was thinking along the lines of 24-14. So
I'm going to be dead honest with you. I don't know. Maybe I blanked, but I totally don't remember you saying 35-31.
I'm pretty sure I said 35-31. We'll have to check the tape.
No, you probably did.
I caught him in 4K.
Man, I love picking the same thing Bailey does on accident.
And see, yeah, that do be how it goes most times. SRS distribution, Las Vegas Bowl. Dang, they love using this new stadium in Vegas for literally anything. Wisconsin plays Arizona State. I do not trust Wisconsin. They are a atrocious football team. That record does not show how good they are. I will take Arizona State in the upset by 6.
I was going to take Arizona State solely for the purpose of Herm Edwards is coaching this game. And he's looking to stay in Arizona State for a while, it looks like.
Yep.
And God, Wisconsin, they're just like the epitome of mediocrity, especially over the last decade. Even when I have Melvin Gordon, they were never really
they weren't
championship contenders. No, you were just there to watch Melvin Gordon have a 400-yard game. So I'm also vibing with Arizona State by 3.
The only thing I know about these two teams, I know some stuff about these two teams, but the thing that I know the most about these two teams, specifically Arizona State, is that they like to have very high expectations and then end up being terrible. I know that they lost to BYU. A lot of Pac-12 teams did, but they also went out there and got smoked by Utah, destroyed by Washington State, destroyed by Oregon State. All these games that they were supposed to win big and then they lost. And that's why I want to pick Wisconsin. But then Wisconsin is also super disappointing. So in a battle of two disappointing teams, I'm just going to be the odd man out and pick Wisconsin for the fun of it. So let's take Wisconsin in a game where Jalen Daniels for Arizona State has a once in every 4 weeks Jalen Daniels game and turns the ball over every other drive. And so I'll take Wisconsin 21-17.
There you go.
Very nice.
This is an interesting one.
This is intriguing, I think. We've got the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl. We've got Wake Forest taking on A&M. I really want to take A&M. I just think they are a better team. I trust Jimbo. But at the same time, A&M's quarterbacks, I don't care which one plays, they're not very good. Wake Forest has a dominant man in Hartman back there who's looked very good most of the year. So I'll take Wake Forest in the upset. A&M's favored by 7. I'll take Wake Forest by 4.
Go ahead, Luke. I'll go last.
Okay, so my thoughts on this is that it could be somewhat like Hartman last week. Texas A&M has a very good defense. DeMarvin Leal is their headliner in the middle. Wake Forest has a very good offense. On the opposite side, they are both terrible on the opposite side. Texas A&M is not good offensively. Calzada is their normal quarterback. He's not great. And Wake Forest obviously has an atrocious, typical air raid team's defense. So the side to watch is going to be the more fun side to watch, which is Hartman versus the Texas A&M defense. And I think Hartman could have a game sort of like last week where he's pretty good in the first half and then starts to fall apart, some turnovers in the second half. I just think that Texas A&M, based off the coaching and based off the physicality and the skill level and the recruiting level, just the overall strength and power of their team on defense is going to be too much for Hartman and the offense in general. And I think they'll make enough plays on offense to win. So there will be some points in this game because there has to be. So 28-24 24 Texas A&M. It could be. I think it'll be pretty close. They're not too far apart.
Yeah. I'm going to take the opposite spectrum. I'm also taking A&M, but I'm kind of looking at it in a little bit of a different way. Like you said, Wake Forest's offense is a very explosive. A&M's defense stifling, but I'm looking at Isaiah Spiller against that Wake Forest defense, and I like what I see a lot. Isaiah Spiller's a dog. He's really good. Related to CJ, if I'm not mistaken. So, I just think Jimbo's the better coach, hands down. And A&M beat flipping Bama, didn't they? So yeah, there you go. And they've proven they can come out, win the big games. It's in Florida, so I think, and it's about an equal drive for both teams. But I think A&M fans probably show up a little more. It might be a home game for A&M. I'm going to take A&M by 10.
Very nice. Oh, the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl. It should be great. Washington State takes on Miami. Cristobal's most likely first game coaching. Oh, Wazoo fan, very excited. Miami's favored by 2.5. Ooh. I'll take Miami by 6.
That's how I was feeling. I'm going Miami here as well, especially if Cristobal's coaching. I know there's actually an interesting stat I saw the other day on Cristobal. He's like 62-60 against teams with a winning record, which is horrible. He's 2 games above 500.
That's almost as bad as Sam Bradford.
Yeah. But I don't know. Miami's played, I feel like, some better teams. Washington State has been like one of the like weirdly consistent teams in the Pac-12 because you didn't really expect much out of them. And that's kind of what you got. You got a barely above 500 team in the Pac-12. And Miami, every single fan that goes there thinks they're the greatest team in the nation. And then they go out and they suck the first 6 weeks. And then they squeak out a couple ranked wins. But I feel like Miami has a tendency to play well in bowl games. Where's this one at? Texas?
Texas.
Yeah, I like Miami here by 4.
All right.
You're going Washington State. So let's hear why.
Press a couple of things you said first. So first off, you said they're weirdly consistent. They're weirdly consistent in the fact that they do the same thing every year, and that is they have a terrible recruiting class. One of the worst in the Pac-12. They get like a bunch of 2- and 3-star guys from the state of Washington only. And then they go out and are, for some reason, like 500 or a game or two above it and like competing to almost be in a conference championship game and then aren't. And then they upset a couple of teams in the Pac-12. That's usually what they do every year. Bowl games, Washington State's up and down. I don't know. There's no consistency there for Washington, but relevant Washington football is exciting for me already. Seahawks suck. Washington football sucks. So Washington State, all right, let's go. But I'm very worried. Van Dyke, Mario Cristobal called Van Dyke, the quarterback for Miami, the best quarterback he's ever coached. Okay, Justin Herbert sucks, I guess. Or maybe Van Dyke's just really good, but I guarantee you he said that because I saw it. He hasn't even coached him yet. So if that means anything, then we're in for it. But honestly, for Washington State, okay, here's the deal. I really like Delora. He's creative. He's got a weird, funky arm angle and moves around a lot. They have a strange confidence. And this kid, Max Borghi, you'll find out about him if you watch this game. You've probably never heard of him. Some people compare him to a McCaffrey-like. He's not McCaffrey, but he's white. He's short, and he's very fast. He catches a lot more than he runs, and his footwork is just insane. Boom, boom, boom. He goes to the outside. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't know enough about the Miami defense, and I don't know enough about Miami in general. But what I do know is that Washington State likes to get lit up by good quarterbacks. So I'm going to take Miami by 3 points.
Wow. Dang.
He went Oppo on us.
Dang.
I think it's a high-scoring game. Washington State likes to respond a lot.
They don't. First half, not gonna lie.
Another thing Washington State is consistent about doing is taking big leads on teams and then losing them. They've done that multiple times this year, USC and Utah State, for example. So they could easily take a big lead in this game and then just fall apart offensively, and their defense gives it up in the end.
Yeah. I think this could be a very good game, though, for sure.
Yep.
The Barstool Sports Arizona Bowl.
Portnoy, dude.
You got Central Michigan, Boise State. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Boise State's a pretty dang good football team. They might not be as great this year, but they're always good in bowl games. They're favored by 8. I will take Boise State in this one by 10 down in Tucson.
Yep, I'm rocking with Boise State by 14. Short and sweet.
The only thing disappointing about this game is that it's not being played on the blue field in Boise. But I'm still going to take Boise State just like you guys. I'll take them by 21 because I don't know anything about Central Michigan, and I know Boise State's a consistent Mountain West school.
Okay. Do we want to save these ones?
Yeah, let's save them. Let's do the entire. We'll do our 2 picks, and then whoever you have making the championship
at the end.
We'll do that pick at the very
so
end.
we're gonna skip the college football playoff games right now. Yeah, we'll go down to the New Year's Day games. We got Penn State playing Arkansas, the Razorbacks, in the Outback Bowl in Raymond James Stadium. They're favoring Penn State in this game. I'm gonna take Arkansas. I think Arkansas has played a lot of good teams really close this year and have won a few of them. Penn State signed Franklin to a huge deal. We'll see how that pays off, but I don't think it pays off in this game. I'll take Arkansas by, what are you thinking, Bailey?
What am I thinking? How much they won by? I was thinking 6.
Oh, okay, good. I was going to say 4.
Okay.
So it's not the exact same.
4's kind of my unique little answer, huh?
Yeah.
28-24.
Kind of growing on me. Yeah. I was thinking right around 28-24.
I like Arkansas by 6. Like you said, you took the words right out of my mouth. Arkansas has played really tough teams this year in the SEC. Their schedule, like 5 weeks, was like Kentucky and then Georgia and then Bama. And it's like, good God. Like,
stop the madness. Get them out of there. And
honestly, they were hanging in with Bama, if I remember correctly, for a couple.
42-5 final score in that one.
Yeah, they almost won it. So they have potential to beat big teams. Penn State's not even that big of a team. I'm rocking with Arkansas here by 6.
All right, I got one name, and his name is Treylon Burks. He's the wide receiver for Arkansas, and all I have to do, the only thing I have to do to prove this is one game. Texas A&M, Treylon Burks, a wide receiver, puts the team on his back and dominates Texas A&M's stifling defense to destroy Texas A&M. This guy is amazing. He looks like a running back with the speed of wide receiver. This dude has gigantic quads, which is a very key factor of powerful football. Just so y'all know. This guy is all over the place. KJ Jefferson can run a little bit, and he has the ability to get the ball to Treylon Burks. And that's all that matters because Treylon Burks is going to dominate this game through and through. And that's all I need to know is that's why Arkansas is going to win. For a score, man, let me try and not pick what you guys pick. I'm going to say Burks carries this game early enough, and they win by 14, 28-14.
I like it.
Yeah, very nice. They're saying Burks, if he goes out in the combine and does something crazy, he might be the first wide receiver off the board. And I don't hate that.
He has some, out of all these guys, he definitely is up there in terms of top end wide receiver 1 potential.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's up there with Olave and Wilson and those guys.
He's got over potential for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. The PlayStation Fiesta Bowl against
Great
the
game.
2 teams that
We've been waiting to see this
that
matchup.
could have made a push for the playoff had Oak State not lost. Oak State plays Notre Dame without Brian Kelly for the first time. Notre Dame's still favored by 2.5. Huh? Weird. The playoff committee said that would be a big factor, and they didn't move, and they're favored. This is a good matchup because Notre Dame's defense is just so good, and Oak State's offense is so prolific. I'm going to take Oak State in the upset. I'm going to take them by 6. I just don't trust. I mean, I've seen the videos. Notre Dame's all in on their DC. They love him like a brother. I get that. That plays a big role. I just think Oak State is – I trust Gundy more. He has the experience. I'll take Oak State by 6.
Okay. Luke, let me know if you thinking the same thing I just heard. Oak State's offense is not prolific.
No, I said prolific.
You said they are Oak State's offense. You said they're prolific?
Yes.
Okay. I've been saying this entire podcast that if they played each other, I'd probably pick Oak State to win. But two things have happened since that has happened. Spencer Sanders proved me that he's horrible. Didn't really. I mean, I was on the fence. The Baylor game, flopped that right over, and I think he's not very good. And like you said, Notre Dame's defense, very good. So that gives me huge worries. And honestly, I think Brian Kelly leaving just lifts a weight off Notre Dame's shoulders. Like you saw the video, they really want to play for this guy. Like Marcus Freeman is a guy that they're willing to like go out and sacrifice their body out on the field and go out and win. And I just think Spencer Sanders walks out and just lays an absolute dud on the field. Come game night, I just have Oklahoma State's defense is very good as well. Like they're fantastic. They play prolific offenses like Texas and Oklahoma, and they hold them, and Baylor even, they hold them to a very low amount of points most often. But I'm rocking with the Irish here. Sadly, I hate it, but I got to do it. If I'm really putting money, I'm putting money on the Irish, and I'm taking them by 10.
All right. So both of these offenses are bad because they have terrible quarterbacks.
Yes.
Spencer Sanders likes every time he plays prime time, he throws 4 picks. And Jack Cohn is just not good at all. And they both have a good running back. So Kyron Hill for Notre Dame, and then Jalen Warren for Oklahoma. Jalen Warren was out last week against Baylor, and they were crushed when they tried to run the ball, which is why they had to throw the ball so much with Spencer Sanders, which is why he made so many mistakes. If he plays, they have obviously a much better chance. If he doesn't, I'm taking Notre Dame all the way. But I'm just going to go ahead and say he plays. We have a match with these 2 running backs and these 2 defenses. I think it's going to be whichever quarterback screws it up the most. And I think Cohn is just a little bit more
prone to doing that.
Cohn's a little bit more conservative, and they'll run it a little bit more. I think State's going to try and use Spencer Sanders just a tiny bit more for whatever reason.
That's going to be their downfall.
I think Spencer Sanders is going to make more mistakes. Jack Cohn's going to have short fields. This could be a field goal game. I mean, Notre Dame could kick 7 field goals in this game after 7 interceptions in the red zone of Oklahoma State. So I'll take Notre Dame 15-10.
Ooh, I like that.
I'm not gonna lie. I am cheering for Oklahoma State to win this game, hands down. Honestly,
Me too.
But the Marcus Freeman storyline is pretty cool, though. That's like the only reason I even like want to have faith in Notre Dame winning. But just because nice. But just because Brian Kelly's out of there, and I hate that guy. Just not based off his ability to coach football, just the reputation as he carries as a human being.
Southern accent, Bailey.
Good God.
He died. One day he gets Southern accent.
No, move on.
Yeah. The Verbo Citrus Bowl. Oh gosh, yay! Iowa, Kentucky. I'm going to take Kentucky by 3. I hate Iowa football. I absolutely hate it.
Iowa is so bad. They put up like 8 points a game and expect to win 90% of the time. Their offense is one of the worst offenses I've ever seen as a ranked unit. Or are they 15?
They are 15 right now.
As a top 15 team, their offense is like, what the hell did I just watch kind of offense. Like Texans against Colts kind of offense. If you guys watch that 31-0 thrashing.
Oh no, I didn't watch that game.
But I'm taking Kentucky because they play in the SEC, and mainly because screw Iowa. I hate them. So I'm taking Kentucky by 6.
I was listening to a show the other day. I can't remember, but it was the hosts of the show were talking to this college football guy, and one of them said, "Oh yeah, am I the only one that's crazy for thinking Iowa has a chance?" And this college football analyst goes, I was terrible on offense, not good on defense, and they're really bad on special teams. But outside of that, they're a great football team. And basically, that
sums it up pretty good.
I'm just going to go ahead and say that Kentucky could play about as bad as you can imagine, and they're going to win this game by 17. So I'm going to take by 28, 35.
Holy Jesus. Oh my God.
I don't hate
did
that.
You have them winning by?
Did I say like 6?
That's what I said.
Kentucky, let me get this straight.
28.
Kentucky's probably going to have 3 defensive touchdowns.
Woo!
I love it.
I love that.
I love it.
Iowa, worst offense I've ever seen in my entire life outside of Washington. So
Yeah.
Very, very true. All right. The Battle of the Roses, baby. The Rose Bowl with the University of Utah, the Utes, taking on the Ohio State Buckeyes.
You flipped it. Oh my God. That is the ultimate disrespect. You better take Utah after that. You're not going to take Utah, are you?
Listen, there comes a time when every man must know when the ride's been fun. It's been a fun ride. I didn't take them last week against Oregon. I made the mistake. I was wrong.
I was the only one.
Yes. Okay, we get it, Bailey. You took Alabama and Oregon. No, Utah. We get it. Having said all that, Utah's not playing an offense like this. Ohio State hasn't played a defense like Utah's. Other than Michigan. Screw it. Utah by 3. Utah by 3. Screw it.
I love that because I'm taking Ohio State by 21. I think Ohio State is so filthy on offense. Is everyone playing? Like Olave's playing, Wilson's playing, Jackson Smith.
Say that none of them are.
Jackson Smith, is it Najigba? Is literally the best. They aren't playing. Olave and Wilson aren't playing. Doesn't matter. No one can guard Jackson Smith, Najigba. He's the best, probably the best wide receiver in college football right now, in my opinion. Dude is just straight up filthy. He's better. He has better stats than Olave and Wilson do all year. And I think Travion Henderson's playing, and Stroud. I think he's nasty. Granted, they haven't really played a defense, like you said, like Utah, since Michigan, but they still put up near 30 points on Michigan. So I'm rocking Ohio State by 21 in the Rose Bowl.
So you're saying they're going to win like 30-9?
No, I think they win like, let's see, 38-17.
Okay, so on December 5th, Ryan Day said, right now we're counting on everyone to play. If that happens, I will take Ohio State. I'm gonna be generous. I'm gonna be real nice here. Because it could be a competitive game. So I'm gonna keep real competitive, and take Ohio State 45-10. I see no way in hell that Utah wins this game.
Oh my God. Me and Luke, I'm gonna be very honest. We're gonna look very stupid if Ohio State loses this game.
Let me get straight. Let me put this on the record. I want Utah to win this game so bad, and I will be rooting for them. I've never wanted to be so wrong. But what am I supposed to do here? Ohio State is so much better on every single level. Like, name any position on the field outside of linebacker, and I'll tell you that Ohio State is way better at that position.
Especially offensively. Like,
look at this. Oregon was supposed to stand a chance against Utah, and they didn't because their quarterback sucks, and they got ran over on the O-line. Ohio State has an awesome O-line, a top 3 quarterback in college football, and a running back that explodes every other week, essentially. At least one of their backs does.
You could argue 3 of the top 5 receivers in college football.
3 of the top 5 wide receivers in college football. How do you match up against that? Oregon had nothing of that level at all.
No.
24-21 Utes. Anyway. I just think Utah.
Go Utes.
Hey, I think Utah can keep it out of their hands just long enough. Granted, they're not playing as good of an offense. Like, they're playing a better offense in Ohio State than Oregon. But Oregon did not have the ball a lot in either of the games because Utah kept it away from them. If Utah can do it again, I think they can keep it low scoring.
Do you know why Oregon didn't have the ball very much?
I know exactly why, Bailey. I know exactly.
Because they suck. Their
I'm just
sucks.
saying. Just look at what Utah does. All they do is run the ball.
But Bailey,
all they do is run the ball. Ryan Day can easily game plan for that, though.
Didn't against Michigan.
Oregon beat Ohio State, so Utah's going to win.
See, that's big brain. If I'm being honest, I got pure pressure taking Utah. I mean, I think Ohio
Shut
State's-
up. No.
I told you before this, I was thinking Ohio State was going to win. But you know what? Ride or die, baby. Go Utes. Utes by 3. Moving on.
No way, unless I was a diehard Utah fan, that I could pick Utah to be anywhere within 24 points.
I gave Utah 21. Shut up. Oh, I'll say 20.
Okay. Anywhere within 17 points.
There you go.
All-State Sugar Bowl between Baylor and Ole Miss.
Guys, this is an interesting game.
Very interesting.
I think you know where I'm going, so I'll go first. I'll get.
No,
mine
let
out
me
of the
take
way.
my vote.
Mackerel!
Honestly, I think Baylor should be the favorite in this game. I think Baylor wins this game. I'm taking Ole Miss and Matt Corral because I am stubborn and I love Lane Kiffin. He's hilarious. And Matt Corral's just a dog. He's just good.
This guy literally goes, yeah, I'm taking Ole Miss because of Matt Corral, and Lane Kiffin is just hilarious.
Yes, like it doesn't matter. I literally do not care. I have no interest. It'll be a good game, I think, but I have no interest in who wins this game. I'm just hoping for a good battle. I think what's the over under?
54.
54. I think if it's under, let's see, around 58 points, I think Baylor wins. I think it's got to be over 58 for Ole Miss to really have a chance, because Ole Miss is, of course, more prolific offensively, and Baylor is, of course, more prolific defensively. So, I'm taking Ole Miss by 4, say 31-27. Just right on my over-under line. So
there you go. I'm gonna also take Ole Miss simply because, not because Lane Kiffin's hilarious, just because
it's also because he's a very good offensive coach.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's a offensive-minded guru. I think Baylor gives him a good fight. I think Baylor should be favored, like you said, coming off a big win against Oak State, but they barely beat Oak State. And Ole Miss is just a different animal, an SEC powerhouse right now. And I look at the quarterback play. I'll take Matt Corral over whoever the hell Baylor has. I will take Ole Miss by 10.
Okay, so I don't know if it's actually coming into effect this game, but I know Ole Miss offensive coordinator just got hired at Oklahoma to be their OC. I don't know.
Still call the shots though.
I don't know. Probably gonna be Lane Kiffin anyways, but concern I have for Baylor, they, other than Oklahoma, haven't really played a bunch of fantastic offenses. Their defense is still good though. I mean, they're still a really good defense, but I'm going to go ahead and say that Ole Miss has the best offense they've played just because of the quarterback play. I think Corral's the best quarterback they've played so far. And then for Ole Miss, their losses on the season were Auburn, which is pretty brutal, and then obviously getting blown out by Bama. Also had that convincing win against A&M, though. They scored 29 on A&M's defense. So they've scored on good defenses. So I don't know. I mean, Baylor, I just never have any confidence in. I feel like Baylor's more of a spoiler team than a contender. And I just like Corral's talent. Once again, it's just that quarterback being more important than the rest of the offense here. And just so I can pick with Bailey again, since I know that's what I like to do, I just see Ole Miss winning this game. Baylor is a team that's probably an underdog that could win. It's definitely possible, and I won't be shocked if it happens, but I just think that this is a game that Matt Corral is too good to go out and lose right now, and so I'll take them. Oh, man. I'm going to have them putting up another kind of weird number. We'll go 27 again. It's not super weird, but 27-20. Baylor's not very good at scoring points. They have a very questionable quarterback situation.
And they only scored 23 against Spencer Sanders, who threw 4 picks. So, and that's credit to Oak State's defense.
Yeah.
All right, the last one for the big dogs. We got LSU, Kansas State. Brian Kelly's debut at LSU in the Tax Act Texas Bowl. You know what? I'll take Brian Kelly to get LSU a win here. Kansas State's favored by 1. I'll take LSU by 6.
You just call them big dogs? LSU and Kansas State. I'm sorry.
No, this is the game before we get to the big.
Oh,
we get to the big games.
for the big dogs. I thought
For
you
the
said
big games,
for
yeah.
the big dogs like LSU. Okay,
No, yeah.
I apologize.
Pick it.
Here's what you need to know. LSU's starting quarterback just entered the transfer portal. They have nothing at quarterback. Give me Kansas State for that reason only.
And I'm going to take LSU for the reason they have Brian Kelly. He's a good football coach. And if their running back's playing, can't remember his name off the top of my head. He's really good, though. He had the huge game against when I picked LSU to upset. Not against Bama. I forget who it was. Good Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Might have been A&M. Yeah, it might have been. Yeah, I'm taking LSU because they have a prolific running game, and Brian Kelly's probably looking to make a statement in his first game as a Tiger. Go Tigers.
All right.
Fair.
The big dogs. We'll start with the obvious winner. The college football semifinal at the Goodyear Cotton Bowl in Texas. We get the lovely Alabama Crimson Tide against the underdog Cincinnati Bearcats. I think we can all agree. I would rather see Michigan play Cincinnati, and I'd rather see Bama, Georgia part 2 right now.
They're drawing it up so they get Bama, Georgia.
I know.
Part 2 in the chip. So I'll go first. This is giving me Alabama's giving me huge 2019 LSU vibes.
Against Clemson.
When they had Burrow and Jefferson and Chase
okay.
that team. Just because their offense, it's not that good. It's still very good though, and they just beat up one of the greatest defenses in college football history, arguably. And Cincinnati's not one of the greatest defenses in college football history. I'm going to keep this very short. Alabama's favored by 12.5. I like Bama by 24. 13.5, excuse me. I like Bama by 24 because you got Saban and you got Young. That's all you need. And Young's the best QB prospect I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, I'll take Bama by 31. They're playing Cincinnati, who just had to draw the short stick and get Bama in the first. Cincinnati's a good team, but they really only played Notre Dame, and they barely beat Notre Dame.
Yeah.
And if I've learned anything is Alabama, and if I've learned anything this past week,
you don't bet against Saban.
I do not bet against Saban. I do not care who they are playing. It's Saban in a Cotton Bowl game. Cincinnati's going to have all the emotion, but Alabama will keep it cool and collective and win by a crisp 31.
Okay, so here's the deal. Cincinnati, we'll start here. Mechie's out and Jackson Jobe is out for Alabama, whatever. And then Cincinnati actually has 2 of the best DBs, corners in the nation. They just had a corner win the award for DB of the year. And then they obviously have Ahmad Sauce Gardner. And then they have some decent dudes on offense. So they match up okay on the secondary. Now, with all that said, I am going to take the team that matches up better in every way. And that's going to be Alabama by about...
Your calculations.
Hold on, let me check here.
120 minus 4 is...
Now, let's throw that down on... I'm going to put Cincinnati at a crisp 14. I think they'll have a couple of touchdowns in there, you know, like garbage time points when they're down. What's the number that adds up to 7 in the 50s again? 52-14 is my score. Alabama wins.
24, 31, 38. Good
We
God.
keep on moving up.
Yeah.
I just feel bad since they had to take a short
I
shot
do
because
too.
now they're never going to let a non-power 5 make it with only 4 teams.
And the CFP is cheating us because this is the Power 5 school that they chose to make it. They purposely lined them up with Bama to show that no Power 5 school should really ever make it ever again until they explain the playoff. And they don't really want to expand the playoff. So I think this is the CFP kind of conspiracy theory, whatever you want to call it.
I think they're just the bird.
Yeah, that's basically what they're doing. They're saying you get what you want, you get Cincinnati, but they get to play the one, they get to play Bama, who just smoked Georgia, and that's what you get. And we're gonna get a thrashing, I think. come 1:30 p.m. Mountain Time on ESPN.
Yeah.
Oh, you wanted Cincinnati to make the playoff? Okay, no worries. We'll just here's Alabama for you.
I'd rather see Cincinnati much more play Michigan, like you said.
It'd be much closer.
Yep.
If Cincinnati wins this game, I don't even know what to say.
They do.
I'll be so happy. I will be so happy.
I will be too, but
it'll send a CFP into a flipping riot. That's what it's gonna do, and I'm gonna love it.
The committee, if Cincinnati wins this game, I feel like that would make it more likely for them to expand the playoff. Because then you're saying like these group of 5 schools can sometimes be legit. Look at what Cincinnati did. But I just don't see a way that Cincinnati can keep this close. There just isn't. They in the trenches, they're probably going to get rushed over. They're just not as big and not as.
They're going to get outcoached, and Alabama has Bryce Young.
Their cornerbacks are good. Alabama's wide receivers are a little bit banged up, and that's the only matchup I've been able to find that Cincinnati maybe has a slight advantage.
Yep.
Just can't find.
Yeah, I think if they match up with maybe Michigan, you could say maybe a Cincinnati in the championship.
I honestly might even pick Cincinnati in that game.
Against a Michigan. I would consider it.
Yeah, I give it much more consideration than this crap. And it's really just to see how CFP flipping us off, man. That's really what it is.
And a chance against Georgia offense with Stetson Bennett just because of their secondary, but
yeah,
not
that's true. The one they couldn't get and they got.
Yeah.
And then we get Georgia, Michigan in the Orange Bowl.
This game's gonna be like 10-7.
This is gonna be maybe the most boring game in college football this year, other than the Air Force not throwing a pass game, because both these offenses are
atrocious.
Decent.
Georgia's offense is not good.
Yeah, Georgia's is not good. Michigan's is pretty good in the run game with Haskins. He showed why he's a dog against Ohio State, and then did it again against Iowa.
Yeah.
But then you look at the other side. This is the defensive matchup we've been waiting for, I think.
Yes.
These are the top 2 defenses in the country right now. Georgia, like we said, is one of the best defenses we've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
And Michigan's right there. They have all the talent. Aiden Hutchinson is just cementing himself more and more as maybe the number 1 pick, especially if he balls out in this game, because he had 3.5 sacks against Ohio State.
Yep.
That's a statement game. That's when you look at a guy when you're getting ready to draft and go, all right, where did he have a statement game? And it was the biggest game of Michigan's season.
Yep.
And he showed up. I really want Georgia Bama again, just because I think Georgia. Yeah, I hate both these coaches too, coaching wise. I'm going to take Georgia purely off. I trust their defense more than Michigan's, because Michigan's is a good defense. They just give up way too many points. I don't think they're going to give up a ton of points because they're playing Georgia. But at the same time, I don't know how Michigan gets Haskins going against this Georgia defense. And I'll take Georgia by 3. I think it stays close. It's
17,
under the spread.
14.
Yeah, 17, 14, 10, 13.
Yeah.
Hell, even a 9-6 game, it wouldn't shock me in the least. Georgia's too much. They are defensively, they are just too much for an okay Michigan offense.
Go ahead, Luke.
Okay, so man, this is seriously lined up for these D lines to go off. You got Michigan with 2 edge rushers that are both going to be first-round picks, and David Ajabo and of course Aiden Hutchinson. And then you got on Georgia. You got a guy that just won 2 awards, one for the best interior D lineman and one for the best defensive player in America tonight, which, of course, is the great Jordan Davis. And then you got Nakobe Dean, who could be a first-round pick. And then you got a bunch of other guys that could be first and second, third-round picks for this Georgia defense all over the place. Defense is obviously the matchup. And then, obviously, Haskins and Corum for Michigan. Then you got Zamir White and George Pickens, some weapons here scattered on the offenses. But the thing that I'm watching in this game is, when the hell are you going to put JT Daniels in the game?
Into the game, yeah.
You just put him in the game. If you weren't stupid, you would just put him in the game, win the game, and be the national champion. It's that simple. Put the dude with the arm talent in the game so he can get it to your playmakers and your offense can stop being your liability. This dude, if I have to watch Stetson Bennett go out there and run for his life and throw dinky little 10-yard slants and screens and get destroyed and have Bryce Young put on an act against him. If I see Stetson Bennett go on the field, I'm just going to change the channel and then I'll turn it back on when Michigan's on offense. I can't take it anymore. I can't do it. Stetson Bennett can transfer to a smaller school, maybe have some success, but JT Daniels has to be the quarterback. Maybe they sneak this one out with Bennett. They have to have JT Daniels going against Alabama if they get there. And I think this would be a game that you get JT Daniels warmed up, get him that little prep game, and then you have him go out there against Alabama, and then you have a shot.
You're taking Georgia?
I'm going to take Georgia just because of the sheer strength of that D-line, and I don't think Michigan will have as good a luck running the ball against that D-line and linebacker, that front seven in general. And then, I think that their offense is going to struggle against Michigan's pass rush, but I think they'll find enough to find a way to win this game with their defense. But it's got to be JT Daniels if they're going to take it to another level.
Yeah, this is a really interesting game to me. You pointed out all the matchups. I completely agree. JT Daniels should have been, and he was the starter week one. Once he came back from injury, he should have kept winning. I don't care how much Georgia beat flipping Georgia Southern by. I don't care. When it comes time to make the huge plays, JT Daniels is the guy. He's the NFL talent. He's the one that's going to get drafted in the 4th round. I don't see a single analyst in the entire world talk about Stetson Bennett going into the flipping NFL. There isn't one. There isn't one of those
Maybe
guys.
Mel Kiper.
No. Hell no. He better not be. He better get assassinated if he's talking about Stetson Bennett going to the NFL. It's a travesty. A travesty. I hate it. And when it comes to quarterbacks, Kirby Smart has about 7 brain cells. That's about it, because he doesn't know who to start. The only good quarterback he's had is Aaron Murray. Aaron Murray. Like, what are we? And Georgia is supposed to be this huge, just ginormous college football powerhouse, and they are. They're a top 3 seed every year, and they go into the playoff and they suck every year because they have no quarterback. JT Daniels is the quarterback, and you don't start him.
They'd probably bench Arch Manning for Stetson Bennett at this point, honestly.
God, it pisses me off, dude. And I don't even like Georgia. But watching them play football against high quality teams like Alabama year in and year out makes me want to vomit, because they lose by 30 every time because they have no quarterback. God.
They're the ones that have to be the competition for Bama, and they just choose to lose by doing things like this. Yes. And you're robbing people that watch college football for the NFL prospects of another NFL prospect. No one's happy about this except for Stetson Bennett, his family, and Kirby Smart. Those are the only people that like this decision. So why the hell are you still doing it when you're not even winning because of it? Oh, because he's more mobile. Nobody cares. Mobility doesn't matter when you're getting sacked by Alabama in the first 3 seconds, when you could have JT Daniels do a 3-step drop and get it out in 2.5.
Yeah,
come on.
Exactly. And like you said, get it to the guys that you recruited that you know are good and are guaranteed the starting spots, like the running backs.
They do it every year. They bring in all this talent and they waste it on garbage quarterbacks.
Yes.
And then when they had a good quarterback, they let him walk in Justin Fields.
Yeah, exactly. They had arguably, in my opinion, one of the greatest high school quarterbacks I have ever seen. And he was ranked above Lawrence for a specific amount of time for good reason.
For very good
reason. And they let him walk to Ohio State. I don't understand. When it comes to quarterbacks in Georgia, it's like a disease.
It's like COVID. It really is.
It really is. And and I haven't even talked about Michigan yet and Harbaugh. Like, these two coaches just choke every big game away that has ever existed, ever. Harbaugh's got one, and it's against Ohio State this year. And I don't know who to pick, because
this was hard because I don't pick either coach.
I don't either.
Harbaugh needs to take this season, say, look at how successful I am. Go to the NFL, get your job, have your success, and then just call it quits. And because they go right back to losing to Ohio State next year.
I agree, but he's staying, and I think didn't he sign an
Oh,
extension?
Yep, he did.
Yeah, he signed an extension, so he's staying permanently. And he's a good coach.
Michigan's always winning 10 games. Ever since he's been there, they've been winning 10 games.
He's a good coach. They just don't ever get over the hump.
They
got over the first
They can't
hump.
beat any good teams.
They got over the first hump in Ohio State, and now it's Georgia. I don't see him getting over Georgia, and that's just my thing. They have the running game, but Georgia's defense is so good. It is so good. Jordan Davis, like you said, in my opinion, when you look at the statistics, a touch overrated, just a touch. However, when you're getting double and triple teamed every time because you're 6'6", like 360, and you run under a 5 for your 40 at that size, there's a reason you're getting double and triple teamed. And that just lets everyone on else Georgia just eat. They just feast off of Jordan Davis's just capability to take up the center, the left guard, and the right guard all at the same time. So due to that being said, I think the gaps are there for Georgia's linebackers, who are, of course, fantastic. Come shoot the run gap, stop Haskins in that prolific Michigan run game. I'm going to punch my eyes out and just gorge them, because I'm going to watch Stetson Bennett against Cade, whatever his name is.
McNamara?
Yeah, McNamara. I don't even care. Marinara.
Cheese curds.
I don't care. I'm picking Georgia to win like 14-13. I think it'll be close. It'll be around 1 to 3 points, I think. I won't be surprised if Michigan wins. I'm cheering for Michigan to win because Kirby Smart's going to throw this game away by picking, like he does every time, by picking Stetson Bennett to play over JT Daniels. If JT Daniels plays and he starts, which he won't, but if in this hypothetical world, say he did, I'm picking Georgia to win by 14. But he's not. And Stetson Bennett is playing, and that's why I'm picking them to win by 3. So 17-14 Georgia. There you have it. But I'm going to get this over with very fast.
This sets us up for the national championship in Lucas Oil Stadium in Indiana.
Let me go first. Can I go first?
Yes, the rematch between Bama, Georgia. Let's get it over quick.
Yeah, I'm taking Bama by 17 because Stetson Bennett is going to play. If JT Daniels played, I might take Georgia by 3. I'm not, though, because Bama has Saban, Bama has Bryce Young. Case closed. I know it's hard to beat a team twice. For Saban, he makes that look easy. He makes it look really easy. And he's going to do it again. That freaking guy. He's going to win another one. God, I hate it, dude. God damn it. He's going to win another one. Bama by 14 against Georgia, 37-23. Did I say 17?
Yeah.
There you go, 40-23. Bryce Young's going to probably put up another 40 burger against these guys.
I'll keep it short and sweet. If JT Daniels was playing, like you said, I would take Georgia by 6. He's not, though. Give me Bama by 13. They can't stop Bryce Young.
I'm honestly getting like Oregon, Utah vibes, where Utah's first performance was so dominant. I can't not pick them again to win. Bama's first performance was so dominant against Georgia. They look better than them on almost every level of the game. And like you said, we were worried about the offensive line. They were fantastic. Like, they were amazing. And they allowed Young to take the shots deep down the field and play, make, and create. I just think that happens again. And Kirby Smart is never going to outcoach Saban.
I think that Stetson's going to start again in the national championship if they find a way to somehow win with Stetson against Michigan. And I think what's actually going to happen is that Alabama's defense is going to figure out how to play Stetson even better and dominate more.
That's a great
I think
point.
they're up pretty big. It's going to be like 30-7 going into the fourth quarter. Georgia's going to say, "Oh, brother." I mean, they're going to do one of two things. They're going to say, Kirby Smart's going to go, we could either put JT Daniels in for some miracle comeback or just to see, like, whatever, because he may as well at this point, because he realizes, or he's going to be like, it's too late. And if I do this now, all of America is going to see that if we would have played him, we probably would have beat Bama. So maybe he won't put him in.
He won't play.
And in the end, if he puts JT Daniels in the end, they'll score some garbage points. It'll be like 40-24. But if he doesn't put him in, he sticks with Bennett just so that America doesn't see how great of a mistake it is, like on the field. And it's going to stay ugly, and it's going to be 40-10. It's going to be brute. It's going to be a slaughter if they keep Stetson Bennett in there.
You're absolutely correct.
I just want 1 year where it's a good national championship. Just one.
I know. Right?
I thought this could be the year. I really thought it could.
If Georgia would be playing JT Daniels, it would be the year. I would be so hyped for Georgia and Bama part 2, because if JT Daniels was starting in the first one, Georgia might have won that game too. Bama played fantastic in that game. Bama probably would have won by like 3 or 6. But we would be so amped for Bama Georgia part 2. And I still kind of am. It's still the game I want. Like, good God, like, give me a flipping break with Kirby Smart. Georgia.
Should he be fired?
No, he should not be fired just because, and he's not going to be fired just because.
I was thinking the same thing earlier. Should he be fired?
You guys think he should be fired?
If they can get shit on by Bama again, he should. If he can't beat Bama, why is he in the SEC?
Oh, can you disappoint all of college football with your terrible decision making to not
only at one position?
So easy. Just put him in the game.
The most important position, but it's one position
most
year in and year
important.
out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because like Georgia hasn't, like the year they did sniff a national championship.
With Chubb and Michelle and those guys.
Yep, they had to have a great backfield. They have a good backfield. They don't have a great one this year. I honestly, if Kirby Smart gets absolutely ran over by Saban, which we're all saying, I think he should be fired because he can't win the big game. He never can. It's like Harbaugh. He can't win the big game. And once he does, I'll shut up. But he can't win the big game. I don't see it against Bama. I question it against Michigan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Georgia has one of the greatest defenses we've seen in college football history.
It's going to go to waste.
That's how bad their offense
is. It's going to go to waste.
That's how bad their offense is. I think that says a lot about Kirby Smart's decision-making at the quarterback position, specifically the quarterback position. Like you said, he's the one who lost Fields. And granted, if Fields was there, he arguably could have turned around that Georgia program into becoming a top tier, also offensive program, and quarterbacks actually wanting to play there, like an Ohio State, like a Bama, like it now going to be a USC or wherever Lincoln Riley's at. And they screwed the pooch, to be very simple with you. They tossed that opportunity straight out the window.
Yeah, we really honestly, before Georgia played Bama, shouldn't have even had to wonder if Georgia was going to beat Alabama after this season. But you had to go, well, Georgia's got Stetson Bennett at quarterback, so of course there's an opportunity with Bryce Young versus Stetson Bennett that Alabama could win this game. Sure enough, it showed up right away, early enough, and throughout the whole game. It's like the defense slips up one time, and it's not like you're going to answer. You got Stetson Bennett. So Georgia should be so dumb. How do you waste a defense like this by not? It's so easy. It's not like they're one quarterback away.
They have their quarterback
quite literally standing next to the head coach. All you got to do is say, "Go in the game." It's that simple.
Yep. And they would have so much better of a chance to win these games. It's so frustrating. I brought up the topic. I want to talk about it very quickly before we end the episode. Is Young better than Lawrence?
Yes.
For Georgia. So I said he was before Georgia, so you know how I'm feeling after Georgia.
If he goes out and does it again in the championship, yes.
Yes.
I think he's very close. He just has to have a championship under his belt. Lawrence has that.
That's fair.
Lawrence has that. That's my only critique. If he goes out there and does it again against Georgia and beats him again to win a championship, he's definitely the best prospect at quarterback that we've seen in 20 plus years.
Yeah.
Lawrence, man, he was such a stud. And I'm not saying Lawrence is any worse because of Young. Bryce Young is just so damn good.
This dude up a whole nother level.
Dude showed up and made the defense that everyone said was completely uncrackable look like he just played Eastern Michigan or something. Like, he made him look like an FCS defense out there. He carved them to shreds. Didn't miss a single beat. Hit every throw. This dude was on point the entire game. I don't know how you.
Yeah,
I
agree.
And this is his first year as a starter doing it. I mean, I know Lawrence kind of did sort of the same thing in his first year winning that national championship against Bama, but the way he did this against this Georgia defense is insane.
Yeah. So I can't agree more. So this is a very long episode.
I'm not gonna lie, we might split it into two.
We could definitely very well split this into two parts. So if not, you're watching 1 2-hour episode. This is the first 2-hour episode?
No.
Yeah, we probably have like 6 of them.
This is dang near 3, boys.
Yeah. So that's gonna wrap it up for this college football very long special podcast. Luke, thank you for coming on as always.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you're not in tune with the new updated Hurdle podcast, this is on YouTube and or Spotify at the moment. We're still working on Apple because it's just it's just a pain in the ass to work with. So we're working on getting our podcast over to Apple, and that should be coming very, very, very shortly.
Yep.
Probably one of the first days of our break, which is in a week. So we'll definitely get to that as soon as we can. But yeah, that's gonna do it. Signing off. Luke, Bailey, Logan. We're all out. Peace, guys.